Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early September 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Cappies in early September, Virgo season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies. Early September, what's the vibe? Let's get this first card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. All must have prizes is one of the more positive oracle cards in this whole entire deck. And not just because of someone receiving a gift or a surprise, but to me, the energy that just washes over me when this card pops out, it's warm. It's a softer, more nurturing type of vibe, which I think is usually pretty good. Now, on the challenging aspect, it can represent fairness. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about it. So a lot of you already know, especially with oracles, I like to go more intuitive. And we see Alice, she's with that interesting looking bird. I'm not sure if it's a dodo or I'm not sure of the species, but she's presenting it with something shiny. And all must have prizes. Sure, we could speak about like a nice incoming material gain for some of you. That's the first and foremost thing. Because when I think of prizes, I generally think of something tangible, something meaningful. So this could be really good. But as I was mentioning earlier, aside from giving or receiving, because this is very similar to the Six of Pentacles, where it's like, okay, it's open, it's flowing. Fairness is a big thing here. So for some of you, worst case scenario, maybe there are certain situations where you feel it's a little off balance, or maybe it's not fair, or that, you know, maybe something should be a little more in balance, which makes sense with the energy I saw for you last week. But initially, like I mentioned, to me, it's very giving. So whether you're receiving, whether you're giving, I feel like this is a really great way to start, and it shows me a level of care. So it's soft. So we're just going to let her chill right there. She could keep giving prizes to that bird. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. What's going on? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There was a bit of volatility in the energy, that's for sure. The reading was titled An Explosive Reaction, where somebody's reaction or even actions towards something were not quite balanced. So we're kind of going back to this, where like someone might go a little overboard, or someone's reaction to something could be much more intense than you would think. So again, that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, so keep that in mind. It felt like walking on eggshells a little bit, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cappies. What's happening here in early September for my good friends? Here we go. 2 cups. All right. I like this card. It's soft. We could be looking at a partnership of some kind or somebody in your circle. That's how I always first think of it when this card pops out. Let's get you a couple more. Okay, a little bit of mystery here. Lots of water energy, which is okay for Capricorn. This is one of the elements that you most definitely vibe with, and it's different from last week, that's for sure. And then boom, right here on the back end, wow, we have the Wheel of Fortune. We might be looking pretty nice here when we link with what I had with Oracle and now this lineup. I am very much optimistic, but you know how readings could go. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always like to look at the elements. It gives us a lot of hints and clues about the type of energies that might be prevalent right now. And there's a lot of water. We have the 2 of Cups, High Priestess, big water sign energy. Now, water is the realm of emotion. It's your inner world. So it's not the material. It's not even really logical. It's more about feeling. How you feel about something. It's very creative. It's very nurturing, loving, caring, very similar to that Oracle card we had in the beginning. So a lot of the emphasis for a lot of Capricorns in this time could be focused inward, when we have a lot of water. Or again, love, relationships, people, or things we care deeply about. Then we got this Wheel of Fortune on the back end. Now, I don't like to link that too much into specific uh, elemental archetypes. I do believe it's more watery and fire mixture. It's Jupiter energy to me, so it's very expansive, powerful, fast. So that's kind of a little theme we're picking up here on the back end of the spread before we get into the details, is we have two strong major arcana, and there is an energy here of mystery, so things potentially taking a turn. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing because there is expansion. So let's go through this and build it out piece by piece. Position number one, we start off with the Two of Cups. And you see it's a lovely image. We have the two individuals. They're both sharing those cups. They're sharing stories and they care about each other, obviously. So, as with all twos in tarot, twos could represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, make or break. So, there could be various situations. This one is more focused towards the personal relationships. So, again, whether we're looking at a very specific connection to you right now, someone you really care for, or someone else's energy, because when we clarified, it could tell us how someone's doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. So we want to look into this further. Now, as with all cards, although it is very smooth and nice and loving and caring, they do have a flip side. And with the Two of Cups, this could represent disharmony, where two people are usually on the same level, we're usually on the same vibrational frequency, but this card could represent like a little hiccup in that, or issues with the people we care for. So we want to look at it. I mean, if we cast a big net, it could just be relationships in general too, but we'll see. Now, pardon me. Moving to the middle, we have the beautiful High Priestess, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. Now, she does link to Pisces, but in my personal opinion, I like to give her to all water signs. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. She is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. So for a lot of Capricorns, diving deeper into spiritual practice of any kind is highly favored with her. She is a balanced energy. Notice she is between the two pillars of spirituality and the material world, Boaz and Jachin. So she is in that nice middle ground. It's a neutral type of vibe. It's very low key. So for some of you, maybe that's the vibe you're trying to put forth right now. Low key, stay in your lane, not looking for any big attention. But the biggest thing with her is she has a lot of knowledge. Notice she always has that volume of sacred law right on her lap, but she's not speaking about it. And that goes more into her downside because although there's beautiful, valuable energies with her, she's very quiet about it. She is not flashy whatsoever. She is kind of in the shadows. So this is one of my cards of the hidden, a little bit of secrecy in its roughest sense. It could be unexpected or surprising. So we want to look at her much further. And that's more of her rougher side is like, all right, what is going on? There's a lot of questions when it comes to the High Priestess, but she has the answers. Now, moving to the back end, we have a beautiful card, yet powerful, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I always say this is my big luck charm in the whole entire tarot deck. So it's a four-leaf clover. If you like playing the lotto, you might have some extra luck in this time. It could also represent someone that's testing their luck or feeling a little more brave or daring than they normally are. So watch out for risk. But to me, a big thing with the wheel is the Jupiter energy, expansion. This is a guardian angel type of energy as well, where there's protection. So it's really beautiful, but there's a deeper side to this. It is a wheel. It represents cycles. It's very karmic. So it could speak about cycles of life that we're going through. A cycle might be close to concluding. A new cycle could be opening. It could be a mix of both, right? When one cycle closes, a new one opens. But the downside to the Wheel of Fortune is the sudden energy that it moves with. Whereas like this is very low key, the water, very malleable. The Wheel of Fortune, boom, it just kicks in. It is a huge card of metamorphosis and change. So when we see it here on the back end, it's most definitely a shift or a change of something, and it happens really quick. So when we pair that with the High Priestess, who's very quiet, very secretive, and then we have the wheel, that's like a recipe for little curveballs from the universe, but it could be good. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. Let's see what's happening for the Cappies. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Two of Cups. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get it going. Two of Cups. What are we looking at here? What's going on with this Two of Cups? Cute. All right, watch out for miscommunications in this time. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Um, Now, for some of you, this could be a silent period or someone where either we're not really speaking too much or not seeing eye to eye. Two of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is most definitely a lack of communication when I see it. But I would say the little warning we have here is watch out for the miscommunications. Like I was saying earlier, the Two of Cups could sometimes be people that have their wires crossed. Now, for some of you, there might be someone you care deeply for and they're not really that expressive, or they have a hard time expressing feelings, expressing emotions, describing how they feel. And it might not make sense to you when I see this alignment because it's like, all right, well, just say it. We could just say it. And now we have all this mysterious energy coming up. Can't wait to see what shows. Now, the aces, they generally represent new offers, opportunities, speaking, communicating. So the fact that it's in reverse, to me, it's either showing someone or something that is not new. Like with this in reverse, it's like, no, this is someone that's either been in my life a long time or will be. So there's good long-term potential here. But the fact that it's in reverse does give me a little bit of pause, because it's like either we're not speaking, not seeing eye to eye, or it's like I was trying to say something different, but you're interpreting it the wrong way. So I would just be cautious with how you're communicating yourself in this time, or somebody else is having issues doing that. Let's just keep moving. Again, this could be something totally different than the main chunk of the read. These could be all different situations. Let's see what's up with the High Priestess. Let's see what's going on with her. Because I have a feeling when we get to this, that's when we're going to see more actionable type of stuff. So why is the High Priestess here for my Cappies, please? Yeah. This energy is just like laying low to the max. So again, I'm not sure if this is you just keeping your head down, laying low, King of Pentacles in reverse underneath the High Priestess. It's like, nope, I don't want to be seen. Nope, I'm going to do my own thing. Now, another thing I can say about this, aside from somebody either laying low or possibly needing to, because that could be advice, the mystery with the power card of yours, the King of Pentacles is a Capricorn power card. This could represent those curveballs, like I said. So unexpected situations, surprising situations popping up, and they can stem from this miscommunication type of energy. So again, whether it's someone that's really close to you or someone that you normally get along with, it's like, no, the wires got crossed, like, or you misunderstood me, or I asked you to do this and you did something different. There could be various unexpected or surprising situations popping up that stem from miscommunications. So I feel like that's really in play here. Now, the King of Pentacles, aside from being big earth sign energy, it's usually grounded, predictable. He's there, right? Very present, ever present type of energy. So right now, when I'm seeing him in reverse underneath this High Priestess, it's like I don't want to be seen for whatever reason. So some of you might be in hermit mode, like I mentioned. But at the same time, him in reverse can also represent something that catches you off guard. So just watch out for situations popping up. And I do feel the main root is people, it could be multiple people, just like not expressing things accurately or being a lot of miscommunication. Let's keep moving. Let's see what's up with this wheel, because the energy's still moving. It doesn't end there. Let's see why the wheel's here. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So what is happening? Yeah, this energy could also seem very shy. So again, we don't always have to make this a huge, big thing like life altering. But when I see this energy, there might be someone around you that's like holding back something or just being very shy for some reason. It's really peculiar. Usually the Capricorn energy to me is like a straight talker. Like what you see is what you get. This energy is like bobbing and weaving. So let's see what's up with the wheel. Why is the wheel here for my good friends? Thank you. And then it improves. It does get better. So we do have the Queen of Pentacles herself. Lots of partnership energy showing up here, my friends. You know, up in the front with the two. Now we got the King and Queen of Pentacles, another one of your beautiful power cards. So I love that she's in the upright underneath this Wheel of Fortune, because to me that's a stroke of good luck and a change for the better. So I will say this, for those of you that are experiencing things or things that pop up or the universe throws you a curveball, it's like just as soon as something rough pops up, something else improves. So it's like, oh wow, I didn't really like this one that much, but I love this. And it's like the universe being its usual unpredictable self. That's just how it's feeling to me, because it's like, all right, miscommunication, things get a little jacked up, and then here on the back end where it's either right back to normal or better than it was before. So for a lot of you, there is big chance for improvements or things paying off for you in a very big way. Now, the Queen of Pentacles has a lot of similar energies to the King. She's very secure, very grounded. Notice she showed up in the upright underneath this Wheel of Fortune. So that is a huge hint to me of something changing for the better in the end. Okay, so if you are going through some sort of process or some sort of funkiness, I feel like you're going to come out better for it in the end, which is really good. Because her in the upright is just secure, stable internally, where it's like, you know what? I don't care what happens. I don't care what the universe throws my way. I'm going to be good regardless. So I think that's beautiful. That's a really nice type of energy. But I will say this, with all the energy that's like flipping and flopping and moving, just know like things are definitely prone to change. So if things take a turn for the worse, they could just as quickly take a turn for the better, and vice versa. But I feel good energy on the back. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So this energy is very unique for a Capricorn reading because, as I mentioned earlier, usually it's straightforward to the point, but this energy is bobbing and weaving on us a little bit. Position number one, we have the Two of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Now, to me, it's either someone being quiet, shy, miscommunications for some of you. Maybe it's someone you care about and you're not really speaking right now, or communication's limited. But I do feel, whether it's work, friendships, family, like there's potential for a lot of miscommunications where someone is just misunderstood. Because in the center, we have the High Priestess with the King of Pentacles in reverse underneath it. So watch out for the surprising or unexpected situations that pop up like out of the blue. That's like the big energy I'm picking up here. It also gave me the vibe of someone that's just really laying low, where it's like, I don't want to be seen, I'm in hermit mode. Moving to the back end, the energy flips once again. So it's like we flip one way, then we flip back. We have the Wheel of Fortune with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So good, there's a happy ending, and I feel like with whatever situations that might occur in this time, you'll be better off in the end. You'll come out on the positive side of it, which is really good. So whether we call that a payoff or a win or something like that, it just feels to me the energy is prone to shift and change on you more so than you'd probably like in this time. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the Cappies? Thank you. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. I mean, this is an energy that just screams Capricorn to me. I love the Eight of Pentacles. It represents work and career, but it's a huge part of work ethic. So if we're talking about relationships, generally it's a card where it's like, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to put energy into it. So I would say the shadow side of this, watch out for imbalance in relationships, whether they're friend or otherwise, because you might be pulling a lot of the weight, a lot of the bulk of the emotional load when this shows up in the shadows. Watch out for any career situation, of course, when this card is here. But the thing I like about it is it's a card that tells us something could be mended, something could be fixed or remedied. That's the good thing. The big challenge, the big shadow side of the Eight of Pentacles is wasting one's energy. So in this time, it's very important to conserve your focus, conserve your effort, conserve your energy, and do not waste it. So we're just going to leave it at that, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The September subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The September calendar is already live, so we could have ourselves a little chat. But for the September subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's great for beginners and experienced readers. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which ones do you get along best with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As usual, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.